Right, what is up YouTube? It's a better angle. Now I've figured out that I'm supposed to be holding it landscape as opposed to portrait, which, so yeah, this should look a bit better on your screen, hopefully. Just on my lunch, so I am doing my steps. When you work in an office, I find, for me personally, on my lunch, if I've gone to somewhere to like sit down, if I haven't left the building, I feel like I haven't had a break, if that makes sense. So I always attempt to get out, just walk around for 20 minutes or so, get some steps in, clear my head a bit, and then I can get back to work. But yeah, and then I just eat at my desk while I'm working afterwards. But yeah, that's me personally. I've had 2 meals now so far. I've got another one when I get back to the office. Then I'll have my 4th just before I finish work. That is my pre-workout meal. Then I will be heading straight to the gym. So I'll catch up with you then. Adios. Yes guys, back again, just finished work. Now walking back to the car to immediately drive to the gym. Tip, if you do work in an office or you have a job where you're more, let's say, sedentary, just park far away from places. So say for example, going food shopping, or even if you are active, you just want to get more steps in and stuff, park far away from places. So say you work in, like for me, I work in the city centre. I park on like the far outskirts of the city centre. So the walk to the office for me is about, let's say, 25 minutes or so. A bit loud there. That's about what, 2.5k steps-ish. But yeah, we're all set for second upper body. Well, technically it's the first upper body session of the week. The last one I posted was my second, so sort of filmed them back to front, but doesn't matter regardless. This one's pretty much, it's very similar. This one's more of a back focused pull day. Sorry, not pull day, upper body day. Whereas the previous one that I posted is more of a chest and shoulders focused one. So it is similar. I'm just starting out with a single arm lat pull down, moving on to incline Smith machine, then a dip, then a T-bar row, then just some isolation movements like a lat pull over, line cuff cable lateral raise, and a cable katana extension, basically just a tricep extension. So yeah, I'll put some clips up on there. I might do a voiceover. Probably won't do as long of one as I did in the previous video, because I don't think anyone wants to watch 20 minutes straight of me just droning on. So yeah, I'll catch you in the gym. Right, yes guys, hope you're all good. Apologies if I sound a bit battered on this voiceover, because I'm recording this the next day after this session, so right after I've trained legs. So if I sound battered, it's because I feel battered, as you should after training legs. But we'll talk about leg day in a separate video, which will come in the near future. So yeah, I'll talk through this session a little bit, and then I'll probably put some clips just over the last couple of exercises. Sorry, not clips, some music over the last couple of exercises, like the old non-copyright sounds, so the sort of thing you'd hear on like a 2016 Ronaldo top 50 skills in the La Liga or wherever he was playing out then. Yeah, that sort of thing, or on like an old Roblox tycoon, so I don't get copyrighted. But yeah, first exercise is a single arm lat pull down. So I'm trying to bias my lats on this. I've been playing around a little bit in terms of where I actually sit on the seat. Like I used to pull myself as close into the machine as I could, but I found when I did that, as it got hard, I used to swing a lot and take a lot of the tension off my lat and place it onto my upper back. So I've been experimenting just sitting further back onto the seat here and just really trying to keep my elbow more in front of my body. And so far it's feeling a lot more on my lat. I've had to drop the weight quite a bit, but if I'm getting more tension out of it, then that's a win. So it doesn't really matter what weight I'm using, as long as I'm being accurate and still training with satisfactory intensity, aka just training hard. So yeah, 2 good sets on here. Sorry, no, I did 3 in total, but I've only shown 2 on here because I don't want to drag the video out too long. But yeah, I do 2 lower rep sets. That's maybe like a 6 to 10, and then 1 higher rep, so like a 10 to 15 or so. Then after that, I move on to my first pressing movement, which is a low incline Smith. I usually prefer to do this literally with like the bench 1 notch up. I used to do it on maybe like 45 degrees or 30, even 30 degrees. And I just used to find that all the tension was moving on to like my delts. I find because my delts are a stronger point for me than my chest, they actively want to take over a lot of pressing movements. So I have to really actively keeping the tension on my chest by having my chest higher than my shoulders, etc. Not letting my posture shift out of place too much. But yeah, 2 good sets on there. This was an absolute grinder of a rep, as you can see. I was buzzing that I got it. It wasn't the cleanest of last reps, but sometimes you kind of have to do that. Sometimes you just got to sort of not cheat the rep, but not get it perfect and almost like clean it up as the sessions go on. So say you get like 5 reps, the last rep is an absolute grinder. It might be the case that for the next session or 2, it's just about getting that 5th rep to be a bit less of a grinder before you attempt for the 6th. And then you're more likely to get the 6th anyway. So yeah, anyways, move on to the back offset. So dropped like 5 kilograms each side pretty much. And I think I got 8 reps on this. Felt pretty good. Felt brutal on my chest. And my chest is feeling it the next day. In fact, it's absolutely smoked, way more than usual. Which means that I probably did something right. That's always a good rule of thumb. I mean, the longer you've been training, the less sore you do get. But if you have got sore, you've probably done something right. You've probably trained the muscle very accurately. That's a good rule of thumb. Say you are doing like a press. If your shoulders are absolutely battered the next day and you try and do a chest press, that's probably not a good sign. You probably might want to re-watch your form clip and double check that you are executing it correctly. But anyways, onto the machine dip. This one's a great machine. It's on the lighter side. Like, I'm not a very strong presser and I'm nearly stacking this. I'm like 1 pin off, but yeah, pretty good on here. The shoulder vein is making a feature, which is always nice to see. I've always had that shot. People ask me quite a lot, well, not quite a lot, I get the odd message about my shoulder vein, and I've always had it. It's not, I don't do anything in particular to get it to pop out. It's literally just there. To be honest, I could have significantly more body fat on me than I do now, and that vein would probably still pop out. So there's no secret exercise or secret diet or whatever to get a shoulder vein. You either have it genetically in a nice position like that, or you don't. Well, that's if you think it looks good. If you think it looks horrible, then well, that's your opinion. But yeah, 2 sets on dip. This is always a great exercise because it's sort of tying in both your triceps and like your lower pec area, which is good because I've just done 2 sets on like an upper pec exercise. So this always feels excellent, and I think I get this next rep. No, I don't. So yeah, that'll be the target next week. After that, move on to a chest supported T-bar. I'm using the Jim Lecco piece, this is probably one of my favourite T-bars. I'm torn between this and I do like the Precor one, but the thing with the Precor one is there's like a little, where the foot position is, for me to get it like perfectly lined up with my chest and stuff in terms of the chest pad, I've got to like dig my shin into the sharp bit of the foot pad, which is not very comfortable. So yeah, I do prefer this Jim Lecco one. However, it does sort of dig into like my core sometimes, which isn't the most comfortable. When I say core, I don't actually mean my core, but you can probably figure out what I mean. Yeah, 3 sets on here. First set always with the highest weight and lower reps, and then I titrate the weight down as the sets go on and the reps up. So with this, I'm just trying to pinch my shoulder blades together as I pull it back, keep my elbows flared out, so I'm biasing more of my upper back on this as opposed to my lats, and attempt to try and keep my chest as glued to the pad as I can, which doesn't always happen, especially if you are really taking it to failure to get that full contraction towards the end. Sometimes it does come up a little bit, but you want to try and minimize that. So yeah, Right, just finished up second, well, like I said, the first upper body session of the week. So, see how we are looking. The pump is ridiculous at the moment. It's because I'm eating so many carbs at the moment that I'm just full of shit, which is nice. Get a few men's physique front shots. Yeah, I just find when I've got a pump, like my chest, delts, just whole upper body as a whole just looks so much better than it does when it's flat and not pumped. Legs, see how the legs are looking. Probably not very good because, I mean, when they're not pumped they do have a bit more detail, but it's still nothing compared to like sunshine. Yeah, pretty happy with this. At the moment I'm 76 kilograms in the morning, so 8 kilograms up from my stage weight, and condition is still, I mean abs are still in, still upper body's holding pretty good condition. Legs have put on a bit of fat, but that's as expected. I do tend to store a bit more fat on my, especially hamstrings and glutes. There's like no detail there now, which, I mean, to be honest, there wasn't much on stage, but... Right, what is up YouTube? Just finished my upper body session. Felt pretty good. Everything went pretty well. I did a bit of posing afterwards, as you saw, which I'm pretty happy with the physique at the moment. It's getting a little bit, I say it's getting a little bit fat. It's not really in the grand scheme of things. Like I'm in a good spot for where I'm at in terms of a bulk. Like I'm 8 kilograms up from my last stage weight. So yeah, buzzing with that really, to be fair. Abs are still in most shots. Legs are still not ridiculously fat. And my upper body's still actually in pretty good condition. So I'm very happy with it. Overall, I think I've put on a good chunk of mass too, especially through the places that I wanted to, like the chest, arms, shoulders, lats, whole upper body really. That's been the focus. But yeah, good session. Tweaked a few little things, like I've pulled the weight down a little bit on the single arm lat pull down machine, just so I can really try and get my elbow more in front of me, so I can buy a small lat. Then the low incline Smith upper rep on the top set, buzzing with that. Back off, up like half a rep, nearly got folded, but yeah, still felt great. Then dips, felt good. T-bar, felt good. I use a lot of those little 0.5 kilogram plates because they are amazing in my opinion. I think not a lot of people use them enough. What you gotta think is if you add one of those onto your whatever exercise you're doing each week, it kind of feels like you're lifting the same weight. If you get the same reps or even like some extra reps, but you've got one of them on, over the span of let's say 10 weeks or so, that's what, like 5 kilos or something. You know, if you do that, what's 10 times 3, 30 weeks, that's what, 5 months? No, my maths is way off there. 7, whatever the case is, it's a lot of weight added. That's like 15 kilograms, that's nearly a whole plate. Like that's, especially as like a natural, they're big numbers, especially if you've been at it for a while as well. Like if you're not a newbie, like I'd definitely invest in some of those. I think I got mine from Mirror Fit or something for like 15 quid a few years ago. So yeah, definitely a good shout if you are wanting to make progress. So yeah, good session. after that, I just finished off with some like isolation exercises, so like machine lat pullover, lying cuff cable lateral, which is the GOAT lateral raise. Genuinely, my delts have responded so well to that exercise since I started doing it, maybe about a year ago. They've always been decent, my delts, I'd say. I've got a pretty good structure for them, but that exercise is just so good. Like, the connection you get is unreal. It's all on the side delt as well. If you're doing them properly, you're literally not going to incorporate any drop, really. Well, you'll incorporate a bit. It's hard to, you can't really completely isolate the delt, but it feels great. So it's definitely worth a try if you don't already do it. I've definitely used the cuffs as well, the hard body ones. I am not sponsored by Hard Body, but my mate Will is, so you can use Will Holmes' code. Shout out Will, strongest 18-year-old I think in the world, probably. But yeah, especially on legs. But enough glazing, Will. After that, onto the cable katana extension, which is, I think it's called that because I want to say it's like Japanese samurais back in the day. If anyone's played COD, I can't remember which COD it was that they had a katana on, but it's like a katana's a sword, and the samurais used to have like a thing on the back. It's not like a backpack, but what would hold the swords. So when they want to take them out, they just take the swords off like that, in that sort of motion, and that's why it's called a katana extension. So yeah, bit of a fancy name for it, but yeah, that's a great exercise. I get a great connection with my triceps on that, and a good stretch. So yeah, very much like that. Then yeah, it's just a good session. If I had to rate it, I'd say a solid 8.5, 8 out of 10 maybe. And yeah, the more sessions like that I can just stack together over the weeks, the more progress I'll make. So it's the name of the game, consistency. There's no point, well, there's no point going, but if you're just going to miss sessions here and there, you're leaving serious gains on the table, which is not what you want. So yeah, buzzing with that. Gonna go home, eat post-workout meal, get a shower, get to bed, and then do it all again over well, tomorrow's a rest day, but over the coming days and weeks, and that is how I will make the progress that I want to make. So yeah, I will catch you whenever I film my next video, which I don't know when that'll be. But yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Drop a comment if you want to drop a comment. I'm not really fussed, it'd be helpful for the algorithm. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.